See, this is the problem with social media, streaming on the internet. Our next guest, who has written a book called Diet Till You Die and Finally Live. She checked out our Facebook page yesterday. She put a post on it. She also checked it out and noticed a lot of pictures of food on that Facebook page. She's been listening this morning as a dozen donuts arrived into the studio and warm pastries from Burlington Bay Market this morning. And she joins us on phone line, and I think we're all in trouble. This is like getting caught with your hand in the cookie jar or in the pastry jar. Alicia Deleray, the author of Diet Till You Die and Finally Live. Alicia, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on Charlie, Ernie, and Lisa.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here, Charlie. Thank you for having me. And good morning, Ernie and Lisa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I did check out your Facebook page yesterday, and there are a lot of pictures of food up there. It all looks absolutely delicious.
I got to tell you that pulled pork last week was unbelievable.
It was good.
Oh, my gosh. Now, listen, I can tell we're going to get along great because I also love food and I love to eat.
Now, Alicia, let's talk about, because this isn't just a book that you wrote. You're walking the walk. You had to lose weight. Can you tell me a little bit about that and how, when it finally dawned on you, I got to do something, and you did something and it's working for you and want other people to know about it? Tell us about it.
Yes, I do. I love to eat. I love food. I struggled with my weight for 10 years, all through my 20s, up and down, losing and gaining. And finally, I figured it out. In a simple way, I lost the weight, and I've been able to keep it off for 15 years. And I wrote the book because I wanted to share my story and share my success, and I really feel like it could help others. Most diet books out there today are written by doctors or vegans or dietitians or personal trainers, and they're long, they're complicated, and they can be overwhelming. And I wanted to provide something that was different than all of that. And my book is so simple, it's easy to understand, and it's easy to implement into your own life.
And I want to point out that those other books that you talked about and those other authors, they never once mention a day in the diet that's a PCM day, which is a pasta cheesecake martini day.
Right?
Never do they bring that up.
You've got to love the pasta cheesecake martini day.
And what day does that fall on in the week? That's the only day I'll probably do this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the book actually has two simple parts to it. The first part is the diet phase where you're going to lose the weight. And the second part of the book is the maintenance phase where you're going to hold your weight steady, finally. And that's where the pasta cheesecake martini days fall.
All right.
So it's not necessarily any one particular day. It's... it's not like it's a Saturday or a Sunday. It's wherever you want it to be.
That's exactly right. Once you get to the maintenance phase of the diet, once you've lost the weight, the maintenance phase of the diet, you're going to break up your days into, different types. So you're going to have a diet day, or you're going to have a normal calorie day, or you're going to have a pasta cheesecake martini day. The secret is, when you have a pasta cheesecake martini day, you need to offset it with a diet day. Otherwise, you're going to gain the weight back. And that's where I struggled for so long, because I love to eat. And I love to go out and eat good food and have a good time and not worry about it. And by using your diet days as tools, you can then go out and have a good time and eat what you want to eat, knowing that the next day or maybe the day after, you're going to be able to get back in control, and keep your weight, where you want it to be.
And I think that's really important, because one of the things about dieting that everybody hates is this feeling that I can't eat what I like. I don't, you just feel like you're so deprived of some of your favorite things. And then if you go off it, you beat yourself up about it. And then you just say, the heck with it, I'm just not doing it anymore. So you give yourself permission, whatever day it is, whether it's a special event, Valentine's Day, a date, whatever, you give yourself permission to say, okay, I'm going to have that martini, and I'm going to have that bowl of pasta and a piece of bread with it too.
That's exactly right, and that's the part of the book, The Diet Till You Die, but Finally Live, is to be able to enjoy all the foods that you love without feeling that guilt, because you know how you're going. Usually, and for me too, even for those 10 years I was struggling with my weight, I looked at dieting as the enemy. I just couldn't stand that word. I didn't want to be on a diet. I hated diets. But now I look at dieting as not torture, but a tool to help me maintain my weight and live the life I want to, which is going out, having a good time, being able to eat the foods that I want to eat. And then on your diet days, it just doesn't feel that bad because you know that you're going to be able to eat on, the next time you feel like eating because, you're going to be able to have control over it.
Alicia, can I ask you, how much weight did you lose?
I lost 30 pounds, and I probably lost 30 pounds about a dozen times.
Yeah, I think anybody that's tried to lose weight has multiple times. They've lost 8 of their bodies at some point.
That's right.
No, it's true. I mean,
I wish I kept the one I wanted.
Well, and every time I lost it, and that's the diet phase of the book. We've been talking about the weight maintenance phase, but really none of that's going to work until you actually lose the weight you need to lose. And so for me, every time I would lose that 20 to 30 pounds over those 10 years, it was pretty easy for me. I would go and I would buy a diet book, and like by chapter 2, I was completely freaked out. And I would always go back to the way that I felt comfortable losing the weight, which is eating very simple foods, repeating some of the same foods over the course of the week. And what happens is your body sort of gets into a rhythm, and you'll actually start to have less cravings. And also the thing about the diet phase is I like tasty food. So during the diet phase, there's 6 menus and you can pick, one. You can change them throughout the course of your diet. But they all have something tasty on them during the week so that you can still feel fulfilled even though you're losing weight.
Now, Alicia, you count calories, though, don't you?
I do.
You do, yeah.
You got to count the calories. I've tried to make the thing is losing weight is very difficult. So I've tried to create a diet that takes all the guesswork out of it. It's as easy as can be. Losing weight's hard. The diet should be easy. So I actually provide you, there's 6 menus to choose from, 6 weekly menus in the book, and I actually provide you with your shopping list. So you don't even need to think. You just take your list, go to the market. There's about 25 items you need to get for the whole week. You bring it all home, and you're pretty much set. There's very little cooking involved. You're going to cook some meat, some grain, some pasta, things like that. But other than that, you're mostly kind of just throwing your food together every day. So I try to take all the guesswork out of it and make it as easy as possible.
Now, how do you personalize it? For instance, if somebody needs to lose more weight, or if somebody is this a book that's written for women? I mean, I've looked at it. It seems the calorie count for some of those days a little light for me. I might want to add a little bit to that. Is there a way to personalize it, or is it just for women?
No, it's not just for women. I actually, in the book, I talk about, if you're a man reading the book, you can add 200 to 300 calories per day, which, whatever, you guys, that sucks. You get to eat more than us. But, you can, personalize it as far as adding some calories. The other thing is, I go into detail in the book about making the diet your own as far as picking the meats, the lean meats that you want to put in there, or the grains or the breads. You can really make it so that it's exactly the kinds of foods that you like to eat.
So yours is a relatively balanced diet. You don't get into, I know there are other diets that are out there. You're eating all protein, you're eating all carbs, you don't eat carbs. It's okay to eat bread, it's okay to eat meat, all kinds of meat, red meat, white meat, fish, everything, right?
Right, it is. I mean, it's a numbers game. And for me, there's no way I was ever giving up carbs. There's just no way. So there are lots of carbs on the diet. There's dairy, there's meat. I tried to make it, very balanced, but at the same time, it's healthy, but at the same time, it's tasty. And I think that's so important to be able to stick to a diet. These diets out there that just have, no carbs and, eat raw and, just this crazy stuff, or all protein or no protein. Those things, they just don't fit into your everyday life, and that's why they're so hard for people to stick with.
Yeah, and they're not sustainable. You're right. You just can't live off of, raw vegetables for the rest of your life. Yeah. You get very bored.
You get bored with it. You need a little variety.
That's exactly right. And I've really made an effort to make all 6 menus different so that you can, have that variety and you don't feel like you're just stuck in a rut with the diet.
Diet Till You Die and Finally Live. That's the name of the book. Alicia Deleray is our guest this morning.
I haven't heard you mention anything about exercise. You see, I don't have a diet day. I have an exercise day.
I like it. That's great.
I don't count calories. I count donuts. Yeah.
Right. The number of donuts then correlates to how long you need to be on the treadmill.
That's right.
He curls calories in, calories out.
He curls boxes of donuts. It's amazing.
Hey, that'll work too. It's just a numbers game. As a matter of fact, all diets have one thing in common, which is you need to eat less calories than you're burning during the day if you want to lose weight.
Yes.
So
let me ask you before we break here, because one of the things that often gets overlooked, and people discover this when they go on a diet and they're reducing their calorie intake, is that their energy level goes down because you're not putting as much fuel into your body, so you get a little tired. So what do you do to keep your energy level up while you're dieting, Alicia?
Well, that's interesting, and that's happened to me before as well when I was dieting over the years. When I would try and keep my calories too low every day, you do get fatigued and feel tired and like you just don't have enough energy. So I've taken that into consideration with the diet, and you do have some lower calorie days, but you also have some higher calorie days. So when you start to feel that way, I notice that when I eat a little bit more the next day, even though I'm still under the threshold of gaining weight or even a normal calorie day, you're still losing weight, but you're eating a little bit more, you're getting closer to that line. You will get, you'll feel so much better. And again, then it's easier to stick with. So the calories every day vary. And as a matter of fact, one day a week, you're going to be eating an amount of calories that is what I consider a normal calorie day. You're not losing, you're not gaining. You're just eating a normal amount of food. And I think that kind of recharges you for then the next week. So you start the next week kind of fueled up and ready to go.
Tell me what you had for breakfast today, and then I want to know about the website and everything. But what did you have for breakfast today, Alicia?
This morning, I had grape nuts with almond milk, a banana, and a cup of coffee. And then I'll eat a little bit more. In a couple of hours, I'll have I usually do an almond milk shake with strawberries and bananas. And so I sort of like have 2 breakfasts. I eat a little bit in the morning, and then I eat a little bit more later. You
cut back a little bit on your dairy, I take it, because you're using the almond milk.
Yeah, but I don't. The only reason I'm using the almond milk, it's not necessarily to cut back on the dairy. It's super low calorie, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
So for me, and that's what I don't have avocados and nuts on the diet because they're good for you and they're tasty. I love them, but they're high in calories. So the method to my diet is to get as much chewing in as possible. So I want to have bigger portions of less calorie food. So, and that's how I've created the diet, so that you feel like you're eating, and I think that makes you're eating more, so you feel more satisfied.
Gotcha. Hey, what's the website before we break, if somebody wants the book or wants to check out more about you?
Okay, and the book is available on my website. It's diettillyouDie.com. And if you buy the book there, you're going to get a special signed edition and a free PDF version of the book emailed to you within 24 hours, so you can get started right away.
All right, check it out, diettillyouDie.com. Alicia Deleray, Diet Till You Die and Finally Live. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Nice to talk to you.
Thank you. You too, guys. Thanks so much.
All right, take care, Alicia. 8:57 on News Talk 620 WVMT. Take a